Hello, everybody. This is a simple video just to explain the workflow that I intended to explain during the recitation session. I know that maybe Emacs is a little bit complicated and a lot of documentation. It is actually pretty well documented, but you need to go and read a lot. The point of this video is just to make a simple example of an exercise, try to explain as much as possible with the huge amount of detail exactly what is going on, and then how you can do something similar if you decide to use Emacs for the rest of the semester. So also you can see that I'm recording. I hope you can also see my screens, my keystrokes on the left, the bottom part corner. Okay, so if you log in into the CS machines as usual, let us do the process of removing the entire uh, Emacs directory, and then just copy paste it's over there, the configuration that I prepare. For this, you need to select the one on the repo that I shared with you guys. Click on Linux, and then you can git clone. Actually, I have access to that repo, so I will do that. And then you can check out to the corresponding branch. In your case, it will be HTTPS, but I will do the same just for the sake of the demo. You do git clone like that, and then you specify the directory, which is going to be this one, right? Okay. Then you step into this directory, you git checkout Linux. Yes, okay. So now you execute Emacs, and there's a lot of software that is being downloaded because I set up the enough packages for Racket and also for Haskell. So the first notice is that if you're using Emacs from the terminal, you have the terminal base, which is not going to be that friendly. So maybe the mouse is not going to work. If you go into the actual physical app, you can use a GUI interface, so that will be simpler. But if in case you don't have access to that, uh, you can use the following commands. Let me pull one cheat sheet here. So for instance, if you would like to read a file, you use CX, Control X, Control F. This symbol here means that you have to hold Control, press F, and then again Control F, Control and then F. But if you see a sequence that this thing is called a chord, if you see that you have pressed Control before, you just can't, you just maintain it, you hold it, and then that's it. So for instance, in my keyboard is a little bit weird. I just prefer to map caps locks to Control. So if I would like to open a file with this command, it will be something like Control F, and then I keep holding Control F. And you will see that at the corner here, what is this? Emacs is asking for a find file. You can specify, I don't know, a new file or something that you have there before. If you do tab completion, you can see all my files that I have at the in my home directory. So for instance, if I want to, I don't know, open this file a.bracket, and then enter. Well, I hope you can also follow with the keystrokes here. But basically, I was able like to open an already existing file. But if I do Control X, Control F, and then I say my homework.rat, basically he can open also new files. Okay, so I also like to save things. So if I want to make changes, like let's say what's here, by doing Control X, Control S, you save into the appropriate place. Okay, now let me see. I would like to do an exercise from class. Well, an exercise, not precisely homework. Actually, we'll take a look to the book, and let's see. So let's pick 2.2, right? exercises 2.2. Okay, third. Define a procedure called third that takes as its argument a list and that returns a third item in the list. Assume that the list contains at least 3 items. Okay, so if I were to solve this problem, I will say something like first, an useful key binding. Let's see if I can find the explanation around here. Is that if you do Control A, you go to the line beginning, and also if you do Control E, you go instead of the beginning, you go to the end. For instance, if I go to the beginning, Control A, the cursor moves to the very beginning of Jose. Now there's another useful key binding that kills. Kills is like copy, and also for the jargon in emacs, pasting is junk. So you will see that maybe there is. I'm pretty sure there is multiple windows. We are going to cover a little bit of that. But yeah, so Control Y is you basically paste something that you copy into a killer ring. Okay, I'm just interested in deleting the line. So basically, I will do Control K. Okay, so I will define third. This is a procedure. Let me go back to the book. It says define a procedure called third that takes an argument. Okay, so I think Professor Lance has mentioned that you can do lambdas. So in this case, I will do something like that. This is something that takes a list, and then it returns the third item on the list. So by doing third, you basically take, let me see, if you have something like a list like 1, 2, 3, like that, by taking the cadre of this, you will end up giving 2 and 3. If you take cadre again, you ended up having a list of just containing the item 3. If you do the car of that remaining function, you ended up obtaining the third element, which is what we want. We can test that after. So we do cadre of that. There's another more efficient way to do this, but I would just go with the basics. So I apply cadre twice, right? And then what else? Cadre, and then car, right? Also, I think I'm using a lot of key movements. With Control F, you move forward, and with Control V, you move backwards. You can also use the arrow keys to move around. So you do car of this, like that. Okay. And then, okay, now this is an interesting thing. Multiple windows. If you want to move to a different window, you use Control XO, Control X. No, we don't need to hold Control again, and then press O. So basically now we're in this window because I ended up downloading a bunch of packages. If I want to delete the window, I do Control X0. So Control X0, and then that window is gone. Now, what I suggested was to execute a command. So basically, in Emacs, when you want to execute something, well, you have to believe me. Well, you have to follow my word. Okay, actually, I need to explain a little bit. This C stands for control, right? I explained that this is cap locks, but I usually remap my cap locks into the control key. So, and then M stands for meta. Meta in all keyboards used to be a specific key. Nowadays, it's more like either escape or alt key in some PCs, or in case of Mac is option. So if you want to execute something, you press option X, and then at the very bottom, Emacs is gonna be, he will be asking for no. Okay, let's do escape X. Yeah, I think I have a different setting in my machine. So let us remove that. So let's press escape X, and then he's waiting for a command to be executed. So I was suggesting to run. You notice I did run, I just type SC and then I press tab because here Emacs does auto completion. So I suggested to use run scheme too, because if you use run scheme, he will ask you will see that you will not be able to complete well you will not be able to do something cool that I'm going to show you about, like how to send from the file into the REPL. But in any case, this thing we're not going to exit right now, but if this is just the REPL that Professor Lang has been using during lectures. So if we want to move to this window again, we do Control X 0, sorry, O. Okay, now we can send this definition of this function. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. So in order to do that, I'm gonna press Control XE. So the reason now that why it works is because this particular mode, when you're in Emacs, when you can work with different files, you can work with different modes. When I set up the configuration file such that for any RKT file extension, he will invoke the scheme mode. So in particular, if you use Control XE, you basically send the last X expression into the REPL. So now if I test the into the REPL there, and I pass a function of 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, I'm expecting to see just 3, right? If I test a third of another longer, this is undefined because I just type did. Okay, so I will do again. Third, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is still 3. If you want to go to the previous in the history, if you want to go to the previous, you press escape P. If you want to go back again, escape P again. Let us make more interesting things. Control E to go to the back, to the end. And I think I did the mistake of like doing the one that wasn't working. So I will go back and fix that. Right? So let us do a more interesting example. If I do something like a symbol, it will say, yes, yeah, I'm just gonna return this, the third item, right? If I do define define A to be 10, basically this is going to give us a third element of this list, and this third element of this thing is a little program that is quoted. So let's see what happens. So basically we return a quoted of a quoted expression. So I think another way to test this is like, let us go back to the previous window. Let's do Control XO. If I wanted to like have, what is this? All my test cases in one single side, I would just write third, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I'm saying, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you do Control XE to send that into the REPL. And then you will see that actually the REPL right away said exactly the answer, which is 45, right? Let me make this thing bigger. In order like to make this the font bigger, you press Control X plus, no, Control X plus, no. Oh, so today is not working. So as you can see, well, that was the whole purpose of my demo. You can see that there's a huge cheat sheet of possible commands. You don't have to learn them all at once, but the ones that you find more interesting and useful, I think I would recommend to take a look to the motion section, how to create files, how to save them, copy paste, and manage in multiple windows. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you find this video useful. Bye-bye.